Hi everyone, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface in, a brand new chair. Because I destroyed the other one with my big fat ass. And so that's why there's no video yesterday. It was literally snap. And so I had nothing to sit in. And when the news broke about this, oh my lord, I've been chomping at the bit to talk about it, and here we go. So, you have to have been some kind of hermit not to have heard about Blitzchung and the Hearthstone tournament and Blizzard when he won a tournament over at Hong Kong. He went and, in his post-match interview, gave a quick pro-Hong Kong to the protesters out there show of solidarity. Said a couple of sentences, power to the people type of business. Blizzard immediately came down on this guy like a nuke. Absolutely. The Hong Kong Twitter account, the Chinese Blizzard account, which is run through NetEase, of course, came out with an incredible statement saying that they were disgusted and disgraced and condemned this guy's verbally speaking out, and that they would do anything in their power to protect the pride of China. Bear in mind, this is a country that's banned this because the president is worried that it looks a little bit too much like him. That's the level of weird that we're dealing with. And ironically, this is made in China. But never mind. So anywho, he's banned for a year from competing at Hearthstone tournament, and has his previous years, the money he'd earned up to this season so far, taken away from him, which was approximately $10,000 US, which is insane. So anyway, there's the outcry because of that. It's clearly, Blizzard clearly did this because it was speaking out against China. Not that it was a political statement per se. This was because it was speaking out specifically against China. You got to be stupid. I mean, literally stupid not to realise that. This wasn't just we're punishing you for a political thing. Because the terms in which they banned him were so vague and open to interpretation for anything. I mean, one of the caveats was something ridiculous like anything that might bring harm or disrepute onto Blizzard. And of course, with China being their overlords, disrepute it was. So, the very next day, after a lot of people showing their support, senators coming out against Blizzard's reaction, politicians from Norway writing letters, Hearthstone presenters resigning over this, Blizzard employees walking out, some of them, the covering up of Every Voice Matters at the Blizzard statue, which of course is a joke, but there again, that was created in a different age by different people with different mentality. Now, of course, it's quite perverse, unfortunately. One day later, American University, another Hearthstone team, hold up a sign after their Hearthstone League match saying, Free Hong Kong, boycott Blizzard. What happened to them? Nothing. Nothing. No punishment, no penalty, nothing. Not even a statement by Blizzard saying, we are deciding how to progress as regards to this. They should have immediately and unequivocally come down on American University with the same ferocity that they did Blitzchung. But they didn't. And in actual fact, they booked them in their next match. So not only did they receive zero punishment for their actions for doing exactly the same as Blitzchung, but they booked them in their next match. American University had to boycott it themselves. They pulled out themselves. They said, we're not going to compete. We think it is unfair at the level of punishment that Blitzchung got, and we have received nothing. In actual fact, you have booked us for our next match. So that made the dumpster fire even worse. And then Blizzard came out with their pathetic, bollocksy statement saying that, oh, our decision had nothing to do with China. Meanwhile, every money-grubbing, belly-scrubbing games company out there that licks the asshole of China and does the alphabet comes out with statements going, please do not say anything political. Please, please, please do not upset our Chinese overlords. They have too much money. And we love money. But Blizzard said, oh no, it had nothing to do with it. Even probably the NetEase account, for all intents and purposes, may have even reacted before Blizzard US had the chance to blink. Why? Because J. Allen Barak is inept. He is a puppet at the head of Blizzard Entertainment. He's shown time and time again his ineptness. He's a joke. He should go. But anyway, that statement, they say, we're going to refund the prize money to Blitzchung and reduce his ban from 12 months to 6 months, which still is ridiculous. And also, if they were so vehement about their original decision, why would they backtrack? If it had nothing to do with China, why would they backtrack under the pressure? Oh, well, we've had time to think about it because we just reacted without thinking. We just made a ludicrous decision because China wanted us to come down on him like a ton of bricks because the country with pathetically disgraceful human rights, they're running the show. And they'll continue to run the show and we'll continue to lick their boots for any scraps that we can get. For any chance that we can get to infiltrate the marketplace in China. Because right there is billions of people already waiting, set up for microtransactions, mobile gaming, and monetization. Cheap games can get banged out there to an audience that has been brought up on this sort of filth. So they'll do anything, including selling out their own countries and selling out freedom of speech, selling out their democratic values. They'll sell them out for communist China and the chance to earn money from them. So, a few days later, after that statement, we get this tweet yesterday from Casey Chambers. Happy to announce that America University Hearthstone team has now received a 6-month ban from competition. While delayed, I appreciate all players being treated equally and nobody being above the rules. Casey is being a gentleman here. I mean, I think I'd like to know what Casey would really like to say behind the scenes, but he's being an absolute gentleman here. This is another ludicrous show by Blizzard, because what they're saying with this move here is we cannot reduce Blitzchung's ban any further because we have to show China that we are making a stand. We have to show China that we will shut up free speech in our very vague rules. Vague rules, by the way, which are immediately, as he shows off the email, immediately shown here. Hello, Excelsior. This is a notification that your conduct on the official broadcast of the Collegiate Hearthstone Championship on Tuesday, the 8th of October, violated Rule 7.1b, cited below. Let's go has a look, shall we? So, let's go to the Rule 7.1b. Here we go. Participants may not take any action or perform any gesture directed at another participant, which it wasn't, Tesper admin, which it wasn't, or any other party, or incite others to do the same. They weren't inciting others, they were showing a message. Which is abusive, it wasn't. Insulting, it wasn't. Mocking, it wasn't. Or disruptive, it wasn't! It wasn't any of the above. it was showing solidarity to a singular Hearthstone player and protesters in Hong Kong. The vagueness is ludicrous. And we all know, I mean, there is no bullshitting here on this channel. We all know that if Blitzchung did nothing and Excelsior and the rest of his American University crew, if they held up that sign, nothing would have happened. They might have received a talking to by Blizzard to say, hey, can you not have political messages, please? We know that. Nobody's a fool. This is literally trying to balance the books when it's too late. The horse has already bolted. You've already mucked up. You've already colossally mucked up. And now you're looking at all the fucking mistakes you've made and gone, right, where do we need to balance things? Well, there's that American University that we did nothing to that did exactly the same. We've got to rebalance that to keep everything in order. Yeah, utter chaos at Blizzard. Chaos with an inept head. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. This company is a joke. An absolute joke. What happened to... I mean, we all know what happened to them. And I think one of the reasons why they're doing this now is I think there's a stacked BlizzCon coming. I do. When I do my BlizzCon video, I'll go into exactly what I think is going to be announced at BlizzCon. But I think that there's a stacked BlizzCon coming, and they are trying desperately hard to get all of the bad news out of the way. And then BlizzCon will come out, and it's this, that, and the other will come out, which I'll, like I said, I'll do a video nearer the time, and people will all be happy. And they'll forget this colossal cluster that Blizzard did. And if you forget, it will only be repeated. And more freedoms will get taken away. They've already taken away the ability to have webcam on. They've already taken the ability to have interviews at the end. Because they are so frightened of free speech. Now, rules, I get. And rules are fine. And if you want to have a tournament that doesn't deal with anything like this, I get it. I fully get it. But that's when you just give somebody the, hey. No. But when you come down on somebody specifically, like a ton of bricks, to make an example of them, and you get caught short because everyone can see exactly what you're trying to do, fuck you. Seriously. This company is filth. Used to be my favourite company. Mid-2000s to late 2000s, noughties, I should say. And now it's just, I don't recognise the company. Obviously, the people who all set it up and done the stuff, they've all gone. But I don't recognise this company. I don't recognise any sort of morality there whatsoever. This is pure money grubbing. We saw that from Alan Adam. I should do a video, actually, charting, because just one thing I want to actually know. I won't do a video. I'll deal with something very quickly here. I've been speaking over the course of probably the last year. It's been the last year or so since I've started to deal with gaming news. And one thing that I've said consistently over that time is this is an unsustainable business model by Blizzard. And why do I think it's unsustainable? Because when you have these shareholders, they just want growth. And if you do that, there's got to be compromises. Massive compromises. Well, do you know what? Over the course of the last 12 months, starting from BlizzCon of last year with Alan Adam, Blizzard showed the compromises. The compromises were, first of all, their existing customer base. That was the first compromise. Fuck them. Get them out the way. They can either come on board with where we're going, or they can piss off. The people have made us what we are. And then over the course of that year, it's again, get on board. World of Warcraft, throwing in microtransactions left, right, etc. Hearthstone, not Hearthstone, Heroes of the Storm, profitable? Not profitable enough. That money could be invested elsewhere, probably in another little mobile game. It'll earn us far more money. Get rid of that. It's never enough. And now, with all this Blitzchung business, what's been compromised? Free speech, democracy, their own country's values for communist China. And their morality, which doesn't exist, will only get worse and worse and worse in an effort to get that dollar. Because as we saw from Call of Duty Mobile, what was it? 100 million people signed up for that. That's what they want. That's what they want. Forget creating something, making a good profit. No, you've got to get everyone and make all of the profit. Screw you, Blizzard, you scum. So I hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media and Twitch for live streaming. Links are in the description box down below. And I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. Probably going to do a silly vid for the evening just to give us a bit of shits and giggles, Batwoman ratings and all that sort of stuff. You take care. Bye for now.